Good morning. It's probably a cold morning wherever you are. At least if you're in the northern hemisphere and especially western hemisphere. This morning, the poem I have for you is Wine by Raymond Carver. Reading a life of Alexander the Great, Alexander, whose rough father, Philip, hired Aristotle to tutor the young scion and warrior, to put some polish on his smooth shoulders. Alexander, who later on the campaign trail into Persia carried a copy of the Iliad in a velvet-lined box. He loved that book so much. He loved to fight and drink, too. I came to that place in the life where Alexander, after a long night of carousing, a wine drunk, the worst kind of drunk, hangovers you don't forget, threw his first brand to start a fire that burned Persepolis, capital of the Persian Empire, ancient even in Alexander's day, razed it to the ground. Later, of course, next morning, maybe even while the fire roared, he was remorseful. But nothing like the remorse felt the next evening when, during a disagreement that turned ugly, and, on Alexander's part, overbearing, his face flushed from too many bowls of uncut wine, Alexander rose drunkenly to his feet, grabbed a spear, and drove it through the breast of his friend, Cletus, who had saved his life at Granicus. For 3 days Alexander mourned, wept, refused food, refused to see his bodily needs. He even promised to give up wine forever. I've heard such promises, and the lamentations that go with them. Needless to say, life for the army came to a full stop, as Alexander gave himself over to his grief. But at the end of those 3 days, the fearsome heat beginning to take its toll on the body of his dead friend, Alexander was persuaded to take action. Pulling himself together and leaving his tent, he took out his copy of Homer, untied it, began to turn the pages. Finally, he gave orders that the funeral rites described for Patroclus be followed to the letter. He wanted Cletus to have the biggest possible send-off. And when the pyre was burning and the bowls of wine were passed his way during the ceremony, of course, what do you think? Alexander drank his fill and passed out. Had to be carried to his tent. Had to be lifted to be put into his bed. Thank you. Maybe I'll have something for you this afternoon.